So, when I say Royal Enfield, what pops into your head? Probably a classic, thumping, single-cylinder machine, right? Simple, reliable, affordable. But what happens when that very same company throws a massive curveball and decides to build a high-performance, 100-horsepower, plant-based electric adventurer? Well, you get one of the biggest, most exciting surprises in modern motorcycling.
Okay, let's just break this down for a second. On one hand, you have the Royal Enfield we all know and love. It's the heart and soul of pure, simple motorcycling. And on the other hand, you have this thing, a silent, zero-emission beast just crammed with cutting-edge tech. It's that huge contrast, that culture shock almost, that makes this story so fascinating.
You know, the reveal of this bike wasn't just another press release. It was a genuine wait, what moment for the entire industry. For everyone who had Royal Enfield neatly filed away in the heritage brand box, this was a statement that was impossible to ignore.
And this quote from Electric Cycle Rider just nails it. Borderline shocking. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was expecting a brand known for its beautiful simplicity to roll out something this ambitious, this technologically advanced. It just immediately told the world that Royal Enfield is playing a completely different game now.
Now, you gotta understand, this isn't just some pretty concept bike they polished up for a show. No way. Royal Enfield is calling the Hemi a testbed. Think of it as a rolling laboratory for all their new EV tech, and they are not taking it easy on this thing. It's already been seen getting put through its paces in the brutal high-altitude terrain of the actual Himalayas.
So, what kind of hardware does it take to send a shockwave through the motorcycle world? Let's peel back the layers here, because the tech they've packed inside this machine is what really changes everything for the brand.
Let this sink in for a moment. 100 horsepower. To put that in perspective, that's more than double the power of their fantastic new Himalayan 450. With just that one number, Royal Enfield has launched itself from the world of relaxed, chill riding straight into the high-performance big leagues.
And what about the range? Well, to power all those horses, you need a serious battery. And this thing is a beast, a massive 14 kilowatt hours, which is bigger than its key competitors. That's not just a number on a spec sheet. It's a clear signal that they are serious about solving the biggest problem for any electric adventure bike, actually going the distance.
But it's not just about raw power, it's about quality. This parts list reads like an enthusiast's dream build. You've got a high-performance motor from the experts at Stark Future, fully adjustable Öhlins suspension, and they're even using the battery case as a stressed member of the frame. That's a super advanced technique where the battery itself becomes part of the bike skeleton. That's stuff you see on high-end race bikes, not heritage cruisers.
And get this, the innovation doesn't stop at the powertrain. The bodywork is made from something called a flax fiber composite. Now, this isn't just some eco-friendly gimmick. Sure, it's not made from petroleum, which is great, but it's also reportedly stronger and more durable than the plastic panels you'd normally find. It's the perfect combo of sustainable and tough.
So you've got 100 horsepower on tap. How do you possibly manage all that? Well, they've thought of that too. The bike has 4 different riding modes, so you can totally change its personality, from a calm, zen mode for cruising through the city, all the way up to a no-holds-barred rally mode for when you really want to hit the trails hard. It's all about making that performance usable.
Okay, so here's where it gets even more interesting. This wild, high-performance Himalayan isn't just some random, one-off project. Nope. It's actually the crown jewel of a much larger, very deliberate electric vehicle strategy that Royal Enfield has been quietly working on for years.
The company basically has this two-pronged attack for the EV market. First, they're bringing back the cool old Flying Flea name for a new sub-brand that's going to be for their more accessible, city-focused electric bikes. And then, you've got the main Royal Enfield branded flagships, like this electric Himalayan, which will be the absolute showcase of their best tech and performance.
So you might be wondering, how did a company known for these simple, classic bikes suddenly make this massive technological leap? Well, a huge part of the answer is a company called Stark Future, the folks who make that insane Stark Varg electric dirt bike. Royal Enfield made a really smart move, investing about $50 million for a 10% stake and a seat on their board. And that partnership is clearly paying off, with a Stark-sourced motor right at the heart of the Hemi prototype.
And this is really cool. According to Royal Enfield's CEO, this whole project is about way more than just the motorcycle. He talks about it being part of a sustainable ecosystem of exploration in the Himalayas, thinking about things like green charging stations and responsible tourism.
It's about creating a whole new way to have a zero-emission adventure.
Okay, so the tech is incredible, the vision is huge, but when can we actually get our hands on one of these? Let's take a look at the timeline and the big questions that are still out there.
You can really see how they're playing the long game here. The big public reveal was in late 2023, and that was followed by some intense real-world testing. The plan seems to be to launch the more accessible Flying Flea model first, probably in early 2026, which then paves the way for the big one, the flagship Electric Himalayan, to make its grand debut later that same year.
Of course, this leaves us with a few giant question marks. Based on that big battery and some early reports, people in the know are guessing a real-world range of around 200 to 250 kilometers. The price? Well, with all this premium tech, it's probably going to have a premium price tag to match. Somewhere north of $8,500 is the current speculation, but we still don't have the final, official name or a locked-in launch date.
So, what's the bottom line here? The big takeaway? Royal Enfield is not just dipping a toe in the electric pool. They are building a legitimate, high-performance, technologically advanced adventure motorcycle that could seriously redefine what the Royal Enfield brand even means to a whole new generation of riders.
A bike this capable promises some truly epic adventures, but it also brings up the single biggest question for any electric adventure vehicle. Even if the bike is ready for the Himalayas, will the charging network be there to support it? That right there is the biggest challenge that needs to be solved to unlock this amazing bike's true potential.